Today I'm going to be teaching you guys a fundamental in Magic, one of my favorite sleight of hands. I've practiced it for a long time. I love it. It's pretty much in every one of my card tricks. It is a double lift. In this case, it is the strike double lift. Like you just saw in the quick performance, you just go turn over the top card, but you're secretly turning over two cards. And once you've done that, they see say that's their card. You say, look, I'm going to put it into the middle, putting the indifferent one, but they're going to think that's theirs. And whatever you do, snap, it's on top. Really useful, super powerful. Let's get into how it's done. So how I do the strike double lift is I hold the deck in Mechanics grip, my thumb on the side, index finger on top, and these three fingers on the side, a little space. Now I've seen a lot of magicians do this and they go for the bottom, at the bottom corner, which is perfectly fine, but I've just always done it where I go for the middle. So that's where I'm going to tell you guys to get it. I hold the deck just like this, a little gap in between these fingers, because that's where I'm going to perform the feel to get the double lift. So right now, the edge of the deck, it's all squared up, perfectly straight. What my thumb's going to do is it's going to go into the middle. I'm just going to move it. I'm not going to put any pressure. It's just going to lie there. What this does is it slightly bows the deck, or slants the deck, whatever you want to call it. So now it's easier for me to feel the cards. Because if they were straight, it'd be hard. And it gives me leverage to pick up cards along with my thumb in a second. So I get them, because trying to feel like this would be harder. I just put my thumb here, it slants the deck, makes me feel it, and it gives me leverage against picking up the cards. So how to actually lift the two cards is just practice. You just got to keep practicing feeling for two cards. I've been doing this for years, so it's easier for me when I hold it like this to pick up two cards than it is one, because I just know when I put my thumb here, it's going to slant it, and it's easier to pick up two cards. My fingers just naturally pick up two cards. Kind of just get it, and then I turn it over. Now when I turn it over, I don't want it to fall flat, because if it falls flat, I'm just going to have to perform another strike double lift. I just want it to make it easier for myself. So I get the two cards, I flip them over, but I flip them over with like a fraction of the card out jogged. And then my fingers hold the card from falling. This finger is going to push, but because this finger is here and it's holding the card down, and this finger is going to release, the back is going to pop up, which is going to give me a chance to get a pinky break, which now when I want to turn it over makes it easier. So this is an over the shoulder view, right? I get the double, I drop it, and then when I go to push it down square, I'm remove this finger. This finger is putting pressure. As you can see, it's already starting to pop up. As I push, it just naturally goes right into a pinky break, which is what I want, because now all I have to do to turn over the card is just to grab into that gap, which is a lot easier than doing a strike double lift. The way I practice the double lift is I just got the feel of it, the basics down. I understood I had a feel for two cards, so I would sit there and play with the feeling of one and two. Only after a couple of weeks you'll be able to tell the difference if it's one or two cards, and maybe even three. And I'm even going to teach you a way to do a triple lift, because once you got the strike double lift down, a triple lift isn't that much harder, just a little more feel, which I'll talk about in a second. Alright guys, here is a side view of the double lift, whether you're going to get a double or a triple. Right now everything is just normal. My thumb comes over, it gives me that slight slant or bow, whatever you want to call it. My index finger, my other finger comes over, just feels for two. As you can see, it's just natural, because when it bows, it's just all the cards going to be sticking out a little bit. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just you grab two, you get it back with the break, and just like that. So I don't know if this helps at all, a close-up where I come over, one. Sometimes I might even miss like that. Maybe I'm pushing too hard. I get one. All I do is I let it go, and I just go back again. I don't panic if I'm doing it for people. It happens at gigs all the time. I'll go in for a double lift, I'll miss it, and I don't want to continue because I'll turn over the wrong card. So I just drop it. Maybe I'll give it a cut like this, and then I'll try it again. Again, just stay calm if you miss a double lift. Just if you go and you miss it because you're practicing, just let it go, readjust, and go again. So after I got understanding of the double lift, I would just sit there and watch TV with a deck of cards in my hand, or be in a car or something on a bus, listen to music. But the thing is, I would either watch TV or listen to music, and I would just sit there for pretty much an hour or two and just lifting two cards pretty much mindlessly. Call it mindless practicing. Kind of like when you're fidgeting with your cards, but I would literally sit there and just do this all day long, I guess we could say. Or there's a couple hours I would watch TV. And I would just constantly just do it. And then one day I looked down and I was like, oh my goodness, I could do it. And that was it. It's just at I guess that was the moment I realized all my practice paid off. So I would always practice it, and I still always practice it to this day. This is pretty much the one thing in Magic I've never stopped practicing or perfecting, and that's my advice to you guys. This is one of the most powerful sleight of hand basic fundamentals in Magic, and you could seriously blow some mind just with this simple little thing. The number one trick I open with involves a double lift, and it is so powerful, and it happens in their hand, and all it is they pick a card, you lose it, you know, you do what you gotta do, bring it to the top, tell them to hold out their hand, or if not, you can put it on the table. You say, look, your card. They say no. You just did a double lift. You say, hold out your hand. You put it in their hand. You say, do it for a dick of your card. You know, you do whatever you want, the snap. You have them turn it over, you turn it over in their hand, and they're gonna freak out. And this is probably one of the most powerful things I can do, and it just involves a simple double lift. It's really worth taking the time and effort to put into this to practice it. So once you've practiced the double lift for, you know, a minute, the strike double lift, you'll be able to feel two cards easily. Now there's not many tricks that I found, but there are some pretty cool tricks that you could do that involve a triple lift. So one day, like I said with the double lift, I would just sit there, and I already knew what two cards felt like. I knew what one card felt like, I knew what two cards felt like. Pretty much by habit, by feel. Again, I guess, well, I don't know the right word, but I practiced with my fingers to feel the width of the cards, just over and over. I would just feel, that's 3, that's 2, that's 1, and then eventually, just like I do a strike double, I could just get a strike triple. And I don't know if you'll ever need to do a triple, but I guess it's just worth practicing just to practice. And then sometimes I would just sit there. A lot of people do this with double lifts. I would go, I'm gonna lift 2, right? Cut the deck. I'm gonna do a triple now. Okay, let me do another triple. I'm just gonna tell you this out of experience. If you do Magic when it's cold and your hands, you can't feel your fingertips, or it's hot and humid and the cards are sticking together, no matter how many times, no matter how good you are at the double lift you've practiced almost your whole life, it pretty much will go wrong. Because if you can't feel your fingertips, it's impossible. If it's hot, sweaty, and humid, anything can go wrong. So always have a backup, you know, a backup double lift. Learn a couple, but only put your time into the ones that you favor. Don't split your time too much. Like I put all my time into the strike double lift. You know, I've learned double lifts like David Blaine's knockout double lift. I've learned double lifts like the Stuart Gordon one. But I've never put any attention into anything more than the strike double lift when it comes to sleight of hand. As a backup, I would suggest to learn, and everyone should just, I already kind of know how to do this, because in the beginning it's the easiest way to get a double lift, and that is to just do a thumb break into a pinky break, double lift. I use this if I'm doing Magic, if it's cold or hot, and I know it, or the cards are wet or anything, any circumstance, I just riffle to 2, and that's how I do a double lift, and it works every single time. Again, it may seem easy to get 2 cards, but definitely practice, because when you're in front of people, you're gonna have that guilty conscience as a magician, and you're gonna think they're gonna see it. But just practice. If you're gonna riffle up the back to get it, after you're done, riffle up the front. You know, to keep continuity, to throw them off a little bit. But I highly recommend just getting this double lift down, the get ready double lift, because you may need it in a certain kind of circumstance. I get a lot of comments on my double lift asking how I do it, telling me I do it good. I do appreciate all the comments, and a lot of people say, how do I do it so well? Well, I've been performing it, perfecting it, practicing it for probably 7-8 years now, just over and over performing it. It definitely, what helped me a lot is performing it in front of people in the live audience. You know, having people say, oh, I saw what you did, you lifted 2 cards, you're the hecklers, getting caught, messing up, flashing. That definitely helped me go back and help me refine it, look into it. Why did I flash? What's going on? And all that helped me get to even that little simple thing where I push it down to get a pinky break. That helped me, that took my double lift to the next level, even though I've been practicing it. I've just recently learned this, to do this, to make my double lift so much easier. After practicing for 7 to 8 years, like, you know what I mean? You're always going to find something better along the way. So never stop practicing. This is something I would say, just go 100% into it until you got it. I think it took me a couple of months to, you know, get it down, basically, to fool people. But it took me years to, I guess we'll say, perfect it or do it well. But my only advice to you guys is put in the practice and you will see results. Until next time, guys. Peace.